Maya Chen had always been the black sheep of her family, half human, half Zilithian, with none of the psychic abilities that made her great-uncle Zexthul a legendary explorer. When the ancient Zilithian passed away at the remarkable age of 847, Maya expected nothing from his estate. Her purely human mother had been disowned decades ago for the contamination of their bloodline. So when the holographic will materialized in her cramped Earth apartment, she nearly dropped her synthetic coffee. To my grandniece Maya, Zexthul's familiar crystalline voice echoed, "I leave the wanderer's dream, my first and most cherished vessel. May it serve you better than it served this old fool." The wanderer's dream turned out to be a disaster. Maya found it in a forgotten berth at Luna Station's salvage yards, a 200-year-old Zilithian exploration craft that looked like it had been through 3 different wars. Hull breaches sealed with emergency patches, outdated quantum drives that sparked ominously, and life support systems held together with prayer and determination. "You could scrap it for maybe 2,000 credits," offered Jorik, the Thraxian, yard supervisor, his 4 eyes gleaming with pity. Zilithian tech is ancient history anyway. Maya ran her hands along the ship's organic metal hull, feeling something her great-uncle had described but she'd never experienced, a faint resonance, like the ship was sleeping rather than dead. "Not yet," she whispered. For 6 months, Maya poured her life savings into repairs. She learned to speak to Zilithian biocircuits in their native frequency, coaxed life back into crystalline memory cores, and jury-rigged human components to interface with alien systems. Her neighbors thought she'd lost her mind. Her mother stopped returning calls. But Maya had inherited more than just her great-uncle's ship. She'd inherited his stubbornness. The breakthrough came when she discovered the ship's hidden compartment. Inside lay Zexthul's personal logs and something that made her blood run cold. Star charts marking the locations of 17 lost human colonies, vanished during the Void War 50 years ago. The galaxy had assumed them destroyed, but Zexthul's notes told a different story. The colonies had been displaced, thrown across space by experimental Corvani weaponry into uncharted regions where no one had thought to look. Maya stared at the charts, her heart pounding. She could sell this information to the Colonial Authority for millions, or she could do something else entirely. 3 days later, the Wanderer's dream lifted off from Luna Station. To outside observers, it looked like a decrepit antique held together by delusion. They couldn't see what Maya saw, the way the biocircuits hummed with renewed purpose, how the quantum drives sang in harmonics that made her bones vibrate, or how the ship's primitive, AI whispered navigation secrets in ancient Zilithian. The first colony, New Jakarta, had been missing for 47 years. Maya found them on the 3rd moon of a red dwarf star, 2,000 light-years from their original location. 50,000 humans, 3 generations born in exile, convinced they were the last of their kind. The welcome was beyond tears, beyond words. But Maya barely stayed long enough to deliver medical supplies and news from home. She had 16 more colonies to find. News of the ghost ship rescue spread across the galaxy faster than quantum communications. A half-breed human in an antique ship, doing what the galaxy's greatest search fleets had failed to accomplish for half a century. Each rescue made less sense than the last. How could one person succeed where thousands had failed? By the time Maya located the 12th colony, she had attracted attention she didn't want. A Corvani battle cruiser intercepted the Wanderer's dream near the Horsehead Nebula. "Human vessel," the transmission crackled with typical Corvani arrogance. "You will surrender the location data immediately. These colonies are Corvani territory by right of conquest." Maya laughed, actually laughed, as she felt the ship respond to her emotions, its biocircuits flaring with indignant energy. "You want to claim people you accidentally misplaced? Try and take it." What happened next became legend throughout the galaxy. The Wanderer's dream, a ship older than some civilizations, danced through the Corvani's weapons fire like it was choreographed. Not through superior firepower or advanced shields, but through something the Corvani had never encountered. A ship that moved like it was alive, piloted by someone who understood that Zilithian vessels weren't just machines, but partners. Maya didn't destroy the battlecruiser, she embarrassed it. The ship's biocircuits interfaced directly with the Corvani computer systems, playing their own surrender anthem through their speakers before jumping to hyperspace. The final 5 colonies were found within 2 months. Each rescue was broadcast. Across the galaxy, each one a reminder that humans didn't just survive. They adapted, they endured, and they came back for their own. When Maya finally returned to Earth, she found herself famous in a way that made her deeply uncomfortable. Interview requests, book deals, speaking engagements. Everyone wanted to know her secret. The truth was simpler than anyone imagined. Maya had understood what her great-uncle spent centuries learning. The galaxy was vast and cold and often cruel, but it was also full of wonders. Her ship wasn't just a machine. It was a promise that someone would always be looking, always be searching, always be refusing to give up on the lost. Standing in the same salvage yard where she'd first seen the Wanderer's dream, Maya watched young beings from a dozen species examining derelict ships with new eyes. The galaxy had learned something important. Sometimes the most powerful force in the universe wasn't the newest technology or the largest fleet. Sometimes it was just one person who refused to let the lost stay lost. The Wanderer's dream hummed beside her, already plotting courses to distant stars where other voices might be calling for home.